Alright, and hello everybody, I'm the Super27 and welcome to another Dokkan battle video. Now, I feel like this isn't like a very important discussion, we've had plenty of those over here on the channel within the last month or so. And I don't really feel like a lot of people talk about this. I don't think a lot of people really care. But, if you didn't see the video that I posted yesterday, definitely go check it out. It's me doing the virtual battlefield. But at one point I said, would you guys watch a video if I talked about how much I hate Prime battles? And I decided I'm going to go ahead and do it. I'm going to go ahead and shotgun that video and hope that it's going to be good. I have nothing planned on what I'm going to say. I'm just going to pretty much just be shooting straight from the top of my head, top of the dome. But this is fundamentally, in my opinion, one of the worst things in all of Dokkan. Like, up there with, the friend system, in my opinion. There are not a lot of things about the game that I would say that I actively hate, but I hate Prime battles, which is really funny because there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's only 10 Prime battles, so it may sound like I'm making a fuss over nothing. It's like this is free-to-play content, stuff to grind, that could potentially help newer players or whatever. No, no. I hate Prime battles. They are bad for free-to-play players. They are bad for people who are whales. They are bad just in pretty much every single category. So let's just go ahead and run down why I think so. So the very first ever LR in the game actually was a Prime battle, being this here Goku. So if we look at just what his normal kit was, 3 key and 3000 attack to all units, and then he was just pretty beefy in of himself. So at the time, I could see this being something worthwhile. When did this guy originally drop? 2016, yeah, so this guy would have been competing with S-tier Gogeta for relevancy in terms of power and leader skill. So again, 2016, that's not bad, but let's look at what his EZA was, which came out 4 years later. Pretty bad. Even by the time, I'd say that this is pretty dreadful. If you're using him just for his leader skill, which is all-encompassing, 4 key, 90 to stats, or 3 key and 70 to stats if you're an extreme class character. Doesn't even really have that good of super attack effects. So, I mean, yeah, whatever. You could say for the time, he could be worthwhile, but even his EZA didn't really save him. And what does he require to be awakened? So if you don't know how a Prime battle stage works, I think that this should show exactly... Yes, perfect. This is exactly what I wanted to show. So, you step in or whatever, you do your first stage, you get the character as an SR, then you have the second stage where you have 2 fights, and then you're given medals to awaken the SR to a UR. Then after that, you have stage 3 with 3 fights, where you then get more medals to awaken them to an LR. And then they have this final stage here where you're able to kind of just grab everything. Most of the time, I wouldn't really mess with this. Just do stage 1, 2, and 3, and then boom, you get your rewards right there. So where does the problem really lie? So number one, you're not guaranteed an SSR. It's a 50-50 whether you do or don't. And then this stage right here, you're guaranteed 1 medal drop, so you have to beat this 15 times with 12 stamina being used each time. I don't know what that is off the top of my head, but it's above 150. I can tell you that right there. So that's a pretty steep investment already. And then after that, you need 777 medals to awaken them into an LR. And the drops are always guaranteed to get them, but it can be as low as 5 or as high as 20. And most of the time, you're going to get 5. At least from my experience, you're going to get 5. So that's over 200 runs that you have to do in this event. That's 25 stamina every single time. And even though with modern teams you can pretty much speed blitz one phase each one of these, I would say arguably it takes at least I don't know at the top of my head, I would say it takes at least 2+ minutes to get 5 medals. So that's a time investment, a huge time investment. And it's annoying because yeah, sometimes you're gonna get the 20 or whatever and oh yeah, that's Pog 20. Even if you got 20 every single time, that's what, 5 runs to get 100, and then you would multiply that by 7, so that would be 35 runs right there. And then you need another 77, so you need 4 more runs, so that would be 39 runs, each one of those taking you about 2 minutes, so that would be about an hour. If you had the best possible RNG where you're able to do this in just 2 minutes, and it only took you essentially the 40 runs to beat it. But 40 runs at 25 stamina, that in of itself is a huge, time sink. And I know you might be saying, oh, well, what about the power level update? Well, the power level update only only affects people of a certain power level. So if a brand new player is just dropped in here and they're trying to get this Goku because you need this Goku for several other free-to-play EZAs or to run them in other events, or if you need a leader for like the support memory awakening event, you're going to need a leader for that. This guy's not bad for it, except you're just wasting so much time. Like this, I would argue it's not even worth it to grind up a character like this because it's so bad and it's such a huge time sink. We have better base form Gokus or whatever, and you might be saying, oh, well, that's just one instance. But my main gripe with them, outside of just the huge time investment, because it takes, again, forever to do all of these for very, very minimal rewards, even the most modern one being Dr. Wheelo, if you did the full grind, you're not getting a lot out of it. But so many of these are just wasted moments. They have beautiful animations. Like, let's just go ahead real quick. Let's look at Wheelo. So let's look at Wheelo. This is his active skill, right? So this is a free-to-play character. Literally anyone right now, they can dive into the game, they can have this. Look at this animation. It's so cool, and Dr. Wheelo is such like a niche character, so if anyone who's a huge fan of the World's Strongest, like this is a really cool, beautiful animation. How many times, be real, okay? Was this your first time seeing this animation in game? Just genuine question. Is there anyone in the chat who had not seen Dr. Wheelo's active skill until right now? I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, let's look at his 12 key. Like, his 12 key is also pretty cool. Like, he's just zooming through space. Is this the one where he has the hand lasers, or is that the 18 key? I think that is the 18 key where he has the hand lasers. Yeah, this is where he charges into you. Again, that's a pretty cool little animation right there. And then right here, this is the 18 key. Oh, yeah, dude, look at this. This is where he has the hand lasers. Yeah, look at that. This is just like straight from the anime. I know you can say that about anything, but this is Dr. freaking Wheelo. Look at that huge, really cool cinematic shot. Really good world building or whatever. No one uses this guy. Now, why does no one use this guy? It's for a few reasons. Number one, Prime battles suck. This is the most modern Prime battle. This came out about a year ago. So let's just real quick, most modern one. So he should be the best, right? Let's look at his kit right here. So he has an entrance animation. Okay, that's pretty cool. 4 key and then 800,000 to defense for 4 turns when there was another revenge category ally on the team. So he's stuck to revenge. Not movie bosses, not terrifying conquerors. No, he's stuck on revenge. All right, interesting take right there, but we can go a little bit further. Also right here, just giving him flat numbers. He's dead on arrival with just flat numbers. And it gets worse. He gets 3 key and 100,000 to stats. Really bad. He gets an additional 3 key, 60,000 to stats when facing one enemy at the start of turn. And if the enemy has 60% or more HP, he gets another 60,000 and a medium chance to crit. He gets an extra 2 key, 40,000 attack, and 10,000 defense and a medium chance of guarding all attacks when there are 2 enemies. And then he gets an additional 60,000 attack and performs crits when HP is 40% or less once only. So not only is this guy trash, even by free-to-play standards, this guy is trash. Like, I don't even know how many free-to-play, like, revenge characters there are. Like, if someone just joined in right now, like, this is a free-to-play character. If you're a new character, like a new player, you're not getting this Tao, even though the Tao is actually pretty decent. You can say the same thing about these guys. These guys are decent. Free-to-play players aren't going to have them. Same thing with here. Free-to-play players aren't going to have them. Where is the next? These two. And they're not great. Alright, so even still, let's just run all these on a team together. Let's just try to make a free-to-play revenge team. This guy's free-to-play, this guy's free-to-play. Too bad they don't work together, but let's just ignore that. This guy's free-to-play, that's a super strike. So right there, boom, you have a team right there of free-to-play revenge. Are you even beating, like, the God event with this team? Are you even beating, like, the legendary Goku event? I would probably say no, but that might just be me being a little bit of a hater. But they're bad, they take forever to grind, and they just take away such hype moments that could actually be summonable characters. Now, I'm someone of the belief that I think every single person should get a summonable unit. As of right now, one of like my most anticipated units, and you guys can dog me in the comments if you want to, I want a Dende. I want a yellow coin Dende that is just a pure support unit who can have like passive healing at the start of turn. He can be a dodging character. He can give just massive amounts of support throughout the entire rotation. You could even restrict him to like Planet Namek Saga, or you could restrict him to Namekians. I pretty much just want a Dende that was what LR Bulma was last year. That is one of my most anticipated units. I might actually just make a custom Dokkan character video for Dende because I really do feel that passionate about getting Dende. But like Zarbon, I feel like Zarbon deserves one. pretty much every character does deserve one, but like most of the time when people are talking about units who do deserve them, you're gonna get like your Zarbons. Everyone wants a Zarbon. What are some other units who haven't gotten like a summonable unit that deserve one? I can't think of one off of the top of my head, other than, I don't know, maybe literally all of these. You know Krillin, Goku's best friend, someone who's been in the series since early Dragon Ball, to this day doesn't have a Dokkan Fest exclusive, a Carnival LR, or a Yellow Coin LR. Why? I don't get it. This first form Cell, like, yeah, he's really good or whatever, or like he was really good, and I know first form Cell probably isn't the most iconic, but this guy's exact animation would have been perfect for a Yellow Coin or a DFE LR. Now I know you could say, oh, well, we got like the AGL one 2 years ago or whatever. Number one, the kid's animations are trash when he's in his first form Cell. Even when he's second form, the animations aren't really up to snuff. But like, why can't we just get like a super fire first form Cell? Let's pull him up here. Nope. Is it this one? There we go, this one. So again, this is free to play. This is his Easy A. He Easy A'd last year. If you were a global player in June. But let's just look at like his kit when he originally debuted, which would have been in this was his kit in 2020. 20,000 to stats, 1 key with each super performed up to 6, and then when keys 18 or more, an extra 20,000 attack, the enemy is attack down status, and then he performs a crit. Dude, even by 2020 standards, this guy was trash. I mean, his Easy A was fine on like release, like he was fine. You could run him in the difficult content and kind of get away with it, but like 60 to stats, this is a pretty recent Easy A. 60 to stats at the start of turn, 60 when facing only one enemy, 2 key, 20% defense, up to 60 with each super attack performed. Like, that's just bad, and his super attack effects aren't anything either. Like, why do free-to-play units have to be bad? I know we can say that about like any free-to-play, but with the time investment that you're sinking into this character, like this right here, all of this exact animation, like he could have had an intro of him popping out of the time machine or him reverting out of his bug form and then just wreaking havoc. Let's look at his animations because they're actually pretty cool. This is like his life absorption attack right here. He starts off with, oh yeah, he starts off with the solar flare. I was thinking of the next one. And then he just charges up behind you and then boom. Like that's pretty cool and unique. Like look at that, look at that. Could you not see that getting like a little bit more fine-tuned for it to be an LR? Or let's look at right here, the bullet attack. Like this is pretty cool. This is when he does his attack up against Piccolo. Like that's an iconic ass pose. That's like the first form Cell pose with him standing like that where he's all arched up or whatever. And then he just dashes in, boom, looking menacing as fuck, and then he just shoots a ki blast right into your face. And yeah, that's free to play. Free to play. Like those are pretty good animations by 2019 standards. But I just feel like we get robbed with stuff like that. Another one that is like really like pisses me off is TN. TN is another unit who to this day does not have like a summonable unit. He has just been restricted to side banners since this game has come out. This is the most iconic TN moment, and I feel like they wasted all of his animation potential. Like, if you were going to realistically have a TN Dokkan Fest, it would be his last hurrah during the Sand Saga. Like, I don't think him going up against like second form Cell, like while that's iconic, I don't know how you make a full like exclusive summonable unit out of something like that. This has the KO with Chiaotzu where you get to really see like him in anguish or whatever. And then he has like his 2 little melee beatdowns right here in a tri-beam. Again, pretty big time investment if we're looking at his kit. It's terrible, just in case you were wondering. It's still really, really bad. And this just robbed an iconic moment. I feel like genuinely, now I know they reuse animations. That's like, whatever. But are they going to reuse animations on a TN? It's one thing if they reuse animations on a Super Saiyan 3 Goku, because we're going to get a new Super Saiyan 3 Goku pretty much every 2-3 years at this point, because that's just a super iconic moment that everybody loves and it's going to sell. And Wheelo, this is the very first Wheelo in the game. We went pretty much 8 years without having Dr. Wheelo in the game. This is his first unit ever, and they used like essentially all of his animations. Like I can't think of anything else this guy does that would really be warranting of like an attack that could be put onto a new summonable unit. So like this is pretty much it. I think that this is likely the only Wheelo we're ever going to get, or if we do get another Wheelo, it'll probably be a side banner and not a summonable thing. And I know he's not the most hype, and I know it's a big company and they're thinking about money. Like if we're struggling to get a summonable Kid Goku in DKP, there's no way in hell they're going to be like, hey, let's just drop Dr. Wheelo. But everyone deserves one. This guy could be dropped on April 1st. This guy could be dropped in October. This unit, I feel like, could actually sell a celebration. This is one of the more fire moments within, like, the Sand Saga. Like, Yamcha got one. And Yamcha, I mean, yeah, cool. He fought the Cybermen or whatever, and then he died. I feel like this should have been the Dokkan Fest. And then Yamcha could have been a prime battle or whatever. But, I mean, hey, at least we have another unit who has... I mean, Yamcha didn't have a summonable unit until this his Dokkan Fest or whatever, which came out the same year, if I'm not wrong, 2022. So I just don't see us getting another, like, TN. Like, is this going to be... I don't know. I'm not articulating myself very well. I just think because they used all the animations and they used this super hype moment, I feel like that just takes away the chances of us ever getting a summonable TN unit. Because, yeah, they reuse animations. They've done it before. But they always use it on units who pretty much they have everything expired. Like, yeah, we have that Dokkan Festival exclusive, like, AGL Vegito. Like, the Vegito Special. That was a Dokkan Festival exclusive. Like, that was a Dokkan original animation. Are we going to get that for this? Probably not. Like, this is TN. They're not going to waste all that time and all that energy coming up with a new attack for a celebration that probably won't sell that well outside of TN fans, or outside of Sand Saga fans, or unless they made him the best unit in the game, which I would always be down for. I think more niche characters deserve better respect. But, like, this is a spit. Like, this is spitting in his face. Genuinely giving him, like, terrible stats. Like, I know he's a free-to-play or whatever. Free-to-plays don't have to be bad. I mean, on release, this guy was, like, kind of competent. Like, you could theoretically run him in, like, the Broly red zone, and he would be decent against normals, but, like, the AoE super would destroy him. I just don't understand why they have to be so bad. Let's look at another one. Right here. This is, again, I feel like this could have been a summonable unit right here. This is pretty much just Gohan when he's training with Piccolo, and when he does the Leave My Daddy Alone attack up against Raditz. I mean... probably of the ones we have talked about so far, probably not as deserving as, like, TN or Wheelo, in my opinion. But still, this could have been, like, a summonable TUR. Like, we just saw last year, we got Piccolo and Gohan. And yeah, the death of Piccolo, like, that is definitely, like, a deserving moment or whatever. But, like, the Gohan parts in of itself, like, that's not very hype. And they didn't even really take a lot of advantage of Gohan in those animations. Like, I feel like that is a unit who has, like, very blasé, very lame, very, like, underwhelming animations outside of the revive. This is a unit, like, the Leave My Daddy Alone, like, this, everyone remembers this, where, like, Raditz looked at a scouter, he couldn't believe the power level, he's stunned, and then Gohan, just in a fit of rage, just dashes in front of him and just breaks his armor, which leads to the opening for Raditz getting killed. Everybody remembers that, and that everyone's mind was blown when they were kids watching that, or when they were young adults or whatever. It doesn't matter. That blew everyone's mind. The Ancient Key is a little bit lame or whatever. This is when Piccolo just picks him up and throws him out a mountain. Like, I understand there's not, like, the most out there. I know he looks like he's just raging or whatever. That's not what happened. Piccolo picks him up and chucks him. Oh, wait, is that not the animation? Am I misremembering what the 18 key is? Yeah, no, it's this, yeah. This is, yeah, that's why he's flying in the air. Piccolo picks him up and throws him. But, like, this could have been, again, this could have been summonable. Krillin. To this day, we don't have a summonable Krillin. Why? This is one of Krillin's most iconic moments in all of Z. And they pretty much used all the animations. The Destructo Disc, they did, like, the Scattering Wave Attack, which he used to destroy all the Cybermen. What else would they do for a Krillin that is, like, on this level of iconic? Like, maybe him fighting a second form Frieza where he cuts off the tail? Like, maybe, but I feel like that's a stretch. Or, I don't know. But, like, they use these animations and they make them look good. And that is another problem. So are we going to get Krillin original animations from the Saiyan Saga? I doubt it. Because, like, they're not, again, they're just not going to use the budget that they do for, like, a worldwide download celebration character. So is Krillin just always going to be relegated to being a side banner, being, like, a complimentary addition to teams? I don't get it. And this kid's, like, his advantage used to be World Tournament. It's not even that good in World Tournament anymore. Trunks. This is probably one of my favorite Trunks moments. This could have been its own summonable LR. You could say whatever you want about Wheelo, like, oh, he's not hype, Tien's not hype, Gohan's not hype. I mean, I think Babidi and Boo's pretty hype, but you could say whatever about most of these and say, like, oh, they're not really worth summoning for. This kid isn't. Where he goes back to the future and he destroys the androids. You're going to tell me that this moment right here isn't worthy of a Dokkan Festival exclusive LR? You're crazy at that point. You're crazy. Like, actually, this is probably my favorite moment of Trunks. It's like this and when he destroyed Mecha Frieza. or like the 2 moments that this Trunks really gets to pop off in this arc, and the animations during this part are just so beautiful. Like when he just barely moves his head to the left to dodge the Ki Blast, like this guy, he could have had like a Ki Blast nullification, but no, he easy A'd in 2022, and even by 2022 standards, terrible. 40% of the start of turn, 40% attack and defense on super, 3 Ki when facing an enemy, 8 Ki and 40% attack and defense when facing 2 or more enemies, and then 3 Ki and 40% to stats when he delivers a final blow. Why? Why? I don't get it, man. I really do hate these. And again, the time you're putting into these, it takes a while to grind these up. And it's just disrespectful, in my opinion. Like, Frieza and Goku, at the time, I feel like they were handled well. They had the good leader skills, and for the time that they dropped, obviously 2016, I think you were 2017. Yeah, 2017, that makes sense. They were very early on. Pretty much all the other, like this Vegeta right here, he recently did just get a summonable unit, but they don't use any of the animations outside of the Big Bang Attack, or the Photon Bomber, I suppose, is what it actually is. But that's just because it's a Super Saiyan Vegeta. There are way more animations for a Super Saiyan Vegeta than any other unit. But even still, this came out in 2019, and it wasn't until 2024 that we got to see these animations done again, and like on a kit and on a character who got the respect that they deserve for the moment. Are we gonna get a Wheelo? I mean, are we, okay, let's say we wait 7 years. Let's say it's 2030. Let's say Dokkan goes on to be 16 years old. Are we seeing another Dr. Wheelo? Just summonable or otherwise, free to play, whatever. Are we seeing another Dr. Wheelo? Probably not. We're always going to get new Vegetas, new Trunkses, new Gokus, new Gohans, whatever, because those are the Super Saiyan characters, those are what make money. But man, this is just disrespectful. This is the only representation of this character, by the way. I know you could say, well, there's the tech Sidebanner unit that fights Cell. That's not the moment I'm talking about. That's not nearly as hype or as iconic, in my opinion, than this section right here, where he just finally gets his revenge and he gets to beat down on Android 17 and 18. Like, it's just, it's bad. It's bad. And then, not even to take into account, like, the time sink that you have to do to get, like, the Awakening medals. It's just grindy. And the only one that I would say is even good, or ever pretty much has been good, is Boo and Bobbity. Just because not only do they buff just one of the best categories in the team, which is, like, Boo Saga allies, they're just a dodging unit, and they can do decent damage, and they can tank decently. But, like, they're not even that good. Like, Bobbity and Deborah shit stomp anything that this character could possibly ever dream of doing. But at least this one is competent. I will say that. On their Easy A, competent. The rest of these kids, none. I don't understand why they get, like, the flat numbers. I don't understand why they get such good animations. I don't get why they pick such hype moments on such niche characters, which rob them from opportunities. Like, I don't even know. Like, if Tien, realistically, if Tien was in the game, would I summon for him? No. But the thing is, I don't summon on a lot of banners. The only reason I summon as much as I do is to make videos, if I'm being completely honest, because a lot of the time, I would just like to save for 9th anniversary, 10th anniversary, 11th anniversary, and the Worldwide Download Celebration, and then if there's a unit who drops in between that's like a moment that I really like, I'll summon for them. Or if they have like a kit that is just way better than anything else in the game has to offer, I'll summon. That's generally how I play. Like, I like weigh my options a little bit more, but I do summon probably more than I would recommend any player ever should. But this is a moment that deserves a summonable unit, man. And they use everything. Everything Tien does against Nappa and the Cybermen is used. Are we realistically going to see it? I doubt it. Like, eventually one day, yeah, I feel like we'll get a new version of this Trunks. We might even get another version of this Vegeta, like 2, 3, 4 years down the road, because that's his first appearance. Are we going to get Cell? Probably not. Krillin? At this rate, I don't think so. Boo and Bobbity? Probably not, because we already have like 3 or 4 summonable or free-to-play Bobbities. Probably not. But just for the amount of time investment that you have to put in, this is just an insult to free-to-play players, in my opinion. Like, make them competent. At the bare minimum, they should be able to go into the legendary, or not the God event. They should realistically, bare minimum, be able to go into the God event, and they should destroy. They should be able to carry a free-to-play team to victory. Because you're telling me to invest bare minimum, what did I say earlier? Bare minimum of an hour, 2 hours? Probably more, plus all the time it's going to take that you're going to have to, like, use stamina, so you might have to use meat items, or you might have to use stones to re-get them. I don't mess with these, man. I think that these are actually one of the worst additions in the game. They take forever, they're not worth your time, and they just rob hype moments that could be used on other summonable units, or the likewise. It's disrespectful to give all these hype moments just terrible kits that they're not worth your time. Like, at the bare minimum, like, any other free-to-play unit can be bad. I can grind them up in half an hour. You know what I mean? Like Devilman. Devilman's not great. I haven't done the grind right now. I can get him fully SA10. I can get him 100% in his hidden potential system. I can do the same thing for a UR and an SR version of him. I can probably do all of that in the amount of time it would take for me to get half of the medals required for one of these. And Devilman is probably better. He probably is, because he has that ability to do like 27 million attack stats very rarely or whatever it is. But like, I just don't get it, man. Does anyone else hate these as much as I do? I don't know. Let me know in the comment section down below if you think I'm just being a big baby. But I feel like, again, Wheelo will probably never get another Wheelo, which is insane. He is a movie, like, how many categories is Wheelo on? And again, they made him even worse because he's stuck on Revenge. So it's not like he can actually help Power of Wishes, Movie Bosses, Resurrected Warriors, Battle of Wits, Terrifying Conquerors. I mean, I know you only need one other, and it doesn't have to be on rotation or anything, but you're always going to have to run, like, Revenge Movie Bosses. And the only one who I can think of off the top of my head who is on Revenge and Movie Bosses would be Tech Broly and Golden Frieza. I think those are the only ones who are on Revenge. Battle of Wits, I mean, you could have, like, Orange Piccolo in the team, I suppose. Resurrected Warrior, you could have Tech Ultimate Gohan. Terrifying Conquerors, again, it would be, like, Golden Frieza. And then Power of Wishes, I don't... is Orange Piccolo on this category? I don't actually know if he is or... He is. So, like, what? Is Orange Piccolo this guy's best linking buddy? I don't know. But he could help, like, Movie Bosses. Like, right now, Movie Bosses isn't in a good position. I know it will be once we get, like, the new Broly and everything, but... If we're looking at this, like, good. So you have, like, 6 units right here. None of them really synergize together. Like, this guy wouldn't work with these because he needs Planetary Destruction or Terrifying Conquerors. And then, like, this guy's trash. This guy's trash, in my opinion. Trash. All of these are trash. Not runnable. You know what would be a really nice addition? Is if we had a free-to-play unit who would be able to do very well in all these difficult content stages. Or at least decent. Like... If Movie Bosses just had 5 good units, this guy could be the 6th and he was competent. How many teams does that fix? Same thing with Sand Saga. Like, Sand Saga has 3 separate Prime battles and they're all bad. Like, if you were a free-to-play player, like, there's a mission where it's like, oh, beat the stage with Sand Saga. You should be able to do it with, like, these. Realistically, like, if you could do it but struggle, that's fine or whatever. But no, all of these are bad. All of them are bad. They're dead on release. I mean, this guy's kind of dead on release, but, like, I mean, he's decent. He's a dodging unit. He's always going to be a little bit decent. So I don't know. Let me know what you think about Prime battles. I hate them. I hate them so much. I hope that they just, like, get rid of it. I can't believe they got rid of my darling Chain Battle. Like, I used to say that, like, Chain Battle sucks, but then, like, I realized, oh, it takes 10 minutes a day to do my 5 runs, and even if I only get, like, top 34%, I'm still getting a bunch of currency that I can use for skill orbs. I can get, like, free hidden potential orbs. I get free dragon stones. It was a pretty good mode overall. It didn't take a lot of time. I just wasn't the biggest fan of it because I didn't have the most diverse box or whatever, but even when you don't have the most diverse box, you got good rewards. They needed to get rid of these. Like, I know the last one was... When did you release Dr. Wheelo? October 23rd. I hope you are the final Prime battle we ever get. And if we get more, and if they're bad, like, if they were at least good, like, if they were actually, like, good, I would, like, if we get, like, Prime Battle Paragus from the Broly movie, like, let's say that's a part of the Worldwide Download Celebration, we get a Prime Battle Paragus, make him good, make him competent at the very least, restrict him. Like, if he was restricted to Revenge, like, if this guy right here was restricted to Revenge, but he was actually really freaking good on Revenge, I wouldn't be saying this about Wheelo. I would just be complaining about all the others. But they restricted him to a category when he already doesn't have that many, so he might as well just be on Revenge. But then he's terrible. He's terrible the whole way through. Medium chance to guard against 2 enemies? Why? Oh my god, it pisses me off. It really does frustrate me. Alright, I'm just gonna wrap up, because I feel like I've said everything I needed to say. Again, this probably wasn't my best, like, articulated video. Because I didn't really go in with a plan. I was just, like, shooting off the top of my brain or whatever. But let me know what you think. Do you hate Prime battles? Do you hate them as much as me? Do you think they're fine? Do you think I'm being just a big baby? I don't know. Let me know. I just feel like it's a waste of everything. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of potential. It's a waste of animations. And realistically, no one ever uses them. So you just grind them up for the rewards, which is usually, like, 6 Dragon Stones. And you probably spent more Dragon Stones than that just to refill up your stamina bar so that you could continue to grind. Not worth it, in my opinion. But... that is going to be all for this time, guys. I've been the Super27. I'm a variety Twitch streamer and an up-and-coming PNG YouTuber trying to make it big in the world. I have a Twitter, a Twitch, a TikTok, and a YouTube, the links to which can all be found in the description of this video. And while you're down there, don't forget to like, subscribe, share me around, and leave me a comment, positive, negative, or indifferent. I would love just any sort of interaction I can get from y'all, but that's going to be all for now. So, as always, I've been the Super27, and I am signing off.